The life in the hereafter. What does the Quran say? Translation of Jahan Ifada by Ajaz Rasul. Ghulam Ahmad, Parwez, 1969. 4 Scroll of Deeds. As has been mentioned earlier, the results of man's deeds leave a mark on his self, and this self stores all of these effects. In this way, the sum total of these effects on his self becomes a book of record of his deeds. We should understand that this process is such that every deed, including passing thoughts, is continually saved just like a video film. When the time comes for the manifestation of the results of our deeds, this video film is played back to us. The Quran uses similes from the human justice system in a court as examples to describe the functioning of this law. Since no human deed remains hidden from witness to all that we do, therefore when there is such a trustworthy witness to a crime, there is no difficulty regarding proof. It is also said that our secret police keep noting what each individual is doing throughout his life and that these policemen are extremely honest and do not omit anything from the documentation, i.e., they make a note of everything which people do. This way a diary is compiled which will then be used as evidence in the divine court of law to prove the case against man. In this connection, first of all the matter of divine knowledge arises, which can be regarded as having the status of an eyewitness. 4.1 Allah is cognizant of your deeds. The Quran initially addresses the fundamentally erroneous thinking of humans which leads to the committing of a crime. It states, "Does he think that none sees him?" 97. After this it says that man is mistaken when he thinks that he is alone and that no one is watching him. Even then there is someone with him, and this other is Allah himself. He, Allah, is with you wherever you are. 57. 4. And he sees whatever man does. And Allah sees well all that you do. 57. 4. The point to note here is that, if a man is convinced that wherever I am, Allah is watching, then such an individual can never deliberately break that law. Most crimes are usually committed only because of the assumption that no one is watching. The Quran plainly states that Allah has surrounded man from all directions. For Allah compasses round about all that they do. 3. 120. But Allah does encompass them from all directions. 85. 20. See also. 89. 14. Not only does he see you when you perform some visible deed, he even knows the thoughts which are crossing your mind. In Surah Kahf it is stated, "It was we who created man, and we know what suggestions his self makes to him. For we are nearer to him than his jugular vein." 50. 16. At another place, Allah knows of the tricks that deceive with the eyes, and all that the hearts of men conceal. 40. 19. No matter how secretive man's consultations, he cannot hide these from Allah. This is why when there are 3 persons present, he is the 4th one, when there are 5, he is the 6th one. He is always present irrespective of the number of people conferring among themselves. See you not that Allah does know all that is in the heavens and on earth? There is not a secret consultation between 3, but he makes the 4th among them, nor between 5, but he makes the 6th, nor between fewer nor more, but he is in their midst wheresoever they be. In the end will he tell them the truth of their conduct, on the day of judgment. For Allah has full knowledge of all things. 58. 7. Therefore there is nothing hidden from him. That day you will be brought to judgment. Not an act of yours that you hide will be hidden. 69. 18. This is the reason that Allah has called himself the knower of things. Say, the death from which you flee will truly overtake you. Then will you be sent back to the knower of things secret and open. And he will tell you the truth of the things that you did. 62. 8. It is the same to him, whether any of you conceal his speech or declare it openly, whether he lie hid by night or walk forth freely by day. 13. 10. His seeing is such that no vision can grasp him, but his grasp is over all vision. He is above all comprehension, yet is acquainted with all things. 6. 103. This is why he will reveal every iota of human deeds, even if it is hidden within the stones of the rocks or anywhere in the heavens or earth. 4.2 The written record. This reality is referred to in many places. We shall record what he says. 1979. Every deed is written down. Whoever works any act of righteousness and has iman, conviction, his endeavor will not be rejected. We shall write it down. 21. 94. Verily we shall give life to the dead, and we record that which they send before and that which they leave behind, and of all things have we taken account in a clear book of evidence. 36. 12. See also. 78. 29. Man may forget it, but Allah does not omit even a word, as everything is recorded. On the day that Allah will raise them all up again, and show them the truth of their conduct, Allah has reckoned its value, though they may have forgotten it, for Allah is witness to all things. 58. 6. In some verses this fact is explained by stating that there are guardians appointed for every individual who record everything. For each there are guardians, in succession, before and behind him. They guard him by command of Allah. Verily never will Allah change the condition of a people until they change what is within their own selves. 13. 11. No word leaves his tongue that is not recorded like a tape recorder. Not a word does he utter, but there is a sentinel by him, ready to note it. Opening parenthesis. 50. 18. In Surah Infatar these recording guardians are called very honest and respectable, writing down your deeds. 82. 11. See also. 86. 4. In other words, the recorders are extremely trustworthy and honest. These are those guardians from whom no deed of man remains secret. This record or register is not kept hidden, nor are its entries written in such an obscure language that none can read it. This register is an open book. In whatever business you may be, and whatever portion you may be reciting from the Quran, and whatever deed you, mankind, may be doing, we are witnesses thereof when you are deeply engrossed therein. Nor is hidden from your Rabb so much as the weight of an atom on the earth or in heaven. And not the least and not the greatest of these things, but are recorded in a clear record. 10. 61. See also. 27. 75. 34. 3. All that they do is noted in their books of deeds. Every matter, small and great, is on record. 54. 52 to 53. When Pharaoh asked Moses as to what is the state of the forefathers who have gone before, the reply given by Moses was, Pharaoh said, "What then is the condition of previous generations?" He replied, "The knowledge of that is with my Rabb, duly recorded. My Rabb never errs, nor forgets." 20. 51 to 52. See also. 23. 62. This is that book, record of deeds, which when presented to the right hand, they will be the owners of a life of bliss and success. 69. 19. And when presented to the left hand, they will beat their heads in despair and lament. Eat you and drink you with full satisfaction, because of the good that you sent before you in the days that are gone. And he that will be given his record in his left hand will say, Ah, would that my record had not been given to me. 69. 25 to 26. See also 84, 7-11. This is the time when all human secrets will be exposed. The day that all things secret will be tested, and that which is locked up in human breasts is made manifest. 86, 9. Let us pause for a moment here. In this life we meet thousands of people. Character-wise we are internally something different from the external persona which we present to others. In this way, we can remain very trustworthy in the sight of others. We continue to reassure our friends about our sincerity and honesty, while in our hearts we can harbor contrary opinions about them. In the eyes of those with whom we interact we remain very sacred and saintly, because our reality is not exposed or made apparent to them. In this way, while retaining an outwardly trustworthy and reliable persona, we leave this world. Now bring this scene to mind. That all the people are sitting in front of us to whom we had presented ourselves as honest, sacred, pure, sincere and truthful, and in their presence our true reality is exposed in such a way that no doubt remains. Then ponder what would be our state of mind. Can there be a bigger punishment than this, that one is exposed in front of those before whom he appeared very trustworthy? This is what man's record of deeds will do. As mentioned earlier, this record of deeds is not external. It will be said to him, read your own record. Sufficient is yourself this day to make out an account against you. Who receives guidance, receives it for his own benefit. Who goes astray does so to his own loss. No bearer of burdens can bear the burden of another. 17. 13-14. This record of deeds is man's own self, on which every one of his actions leaves a stamp. This is why man is essentially the writer of his own deeds, and also holds himself accountable. This is that record of deeds, on the exposure of which the criminals will shriek in terror. And the book of deeds will be placed before you, and you will see the criminals, Mujrimun, in great terror because of what is recorded therein. They will say, woe to us! What a book is this! It leaves out nothing small or great, but takes account thereof. They will find all that they did placed before them, and not one will your Rab treat with injustice. 1849. In this life the state of man is such that he tries to hide the truth. And if there is a threat that some weakness of his is in danger of being disclosed, he produces such witnesses of his who will vouch for his integrity and honesty. He does this to deceive others. As far as his own self is concerned, his own self-deceiving intellect produces scores of justifications for all his wrong deeds in order to keep him satisfied in his state of deceit. But when the consequences of his deeds are exposed, the whole situation will be reversed. Nay, man will be evidence against himself, even though he were to put up his excuses. 75. 14-15. This is the way all individual and collective deeds will bear results. And you will see every sect bowing the knee, every sect will be called to its record. This day you will be recompensed for all that you did. 45-28. We will discuss the nations later.